Alright, so I'm all the way out. Okay. Uh, some of you guys probably already saw the quick review I did on my buddy's channel of my bike. We'll do a slightly longer, more in-depth review, I guess, and show some of the things I've done to it and add some things to it today. Also, hopefully, do a ride at least to the ferry testing a camera. So, start with it's a 2015 Yamaha Super Tenere. I picked it up with 20 miles on it from the dealership. They still had it sitting there at the start of 2018, so they were kind of anxious to get rid of it, I guess. Already had it marked down by about $3,000, and I got them to take another 500 or so off of it. So far, I've been extremely happy with this thing. I was on a 2007 R6S, so a sport bike or a crotch rocket, depending on who you ask. Really fast, really fun. Could barely keep it anywhere near the speed limit, let alone at the speed limit. Could barely keep it under 100 half the time. But it was hard on my wrist for commuting. I was leaned forward on it really bad. So it was uncomfortable. I went to go look for a new bike. I was thinking about getting an FJR, which is also by Yamaha, but they didn't have any at the dealership at the time, and I saw this one and sat on it. Well, that was kind of nice. And I was actually originally looking at the one next to it, which was a 2016, and it was their 60th anniversary edition, so it was a yellow and black coloration. Couldn't get quite the financing numbers for that one, but which they still have, which is kind of funny. But I got this one. So the only thing I have done to it is I have done the first oil change, which was at 600 miles. I switched over to AMSOIL full synthetic. I think it had synthetic in it, but I chose the AMSOIL. And then I've added my decal on the front here. I'll line up and get a decent picture of it. Cool thing about this is at night when I'm coming home, the side marker lights, which are orange, they kind of make this back glow orange. I'm thinking about getting some type of light up inside to constantly keep it on as a different colors, maybe some small LEDs. That'll be in the future though. So the Super Tenere is what they call an adventure series bike. It's not a dual sport. A dual sport is a dirt bike that they put the lights on and made it so it can go on the road. An adventure is a street bike, 1200cc in this case, that has expanded suspension. So I got 7.5 inches of travel front and back. They changed the torque around a little bit. They changed the way things mount up a little bit, so you get better traction off road. It does really well off-road for my limited abilities that I have so far. So, the other thing I've added so far is, of course, the toolbox here on the back. I needed something to carry my lunchbox just back and forth to work. That's all I do. You can buy cargo bags for this, and I'll get them eventually, but I don't have the fundage right now. So you'll end up with a rack that kind of comes down the side and hooks up to there on either side for side bags, and then a top box. Normally the ones that come with it looks like a giant pizza box almost, but really tall, square metal box. They look slightly dorky to me for whatever I was doing. If I'm going on a trip, yeah, that'd be nice. Just go back and forth to work. It's way bigger than I need. It's way bulkier than I need. I found this the Home Depot. Just a Husky toolbox. Cost me like 13 bucks. Bought some aluminum plates here. Oops, sorry, up here. Cut just one plate, cut it down, rounded it off, painted it. Used the holes that were already existing in this plate to bolt to, and then bolted the box to it out there. It's nice and sturdy. Doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't wobble. So, got my gloves and my coffee in it right now. But it holds my lunchbox, it holds my rain gear that I need. So it's basically works perfect for my everyday going back and forth to work. Don't need anything bigger yet. When I go on trips, I'll need something bigger. Right now that works. So today, I'm going to be putting on two things. One is a RAM cell phone mount. Did some reviews. This was apparently one of the best cell phone mounts you can get. Very highly rated. Not terribly expensive. I don't plan on playing with my cell phone on it very much, but it will hold a camera. So I'm going to mount it. Ideally right there. Sorry, I was supposed to follow with you. Right around there. So that way it'll face forward out the windscreen. First time I do this, I'm going to use my old cell phone and see if it works as a camera. I'm not quite comfortable attaching my brand new phone to this to, go down there. So this will be mounted there. And then the other thing is something a friend of mine at work got me. It's called a Guardian bell. Focus. There we go. Be interesting to see how well this picks up the sound of that bell. So I'm going to put that on. Will it focus on the writing long enough for it to become legible? Hey, it does kind of. So legend has it that evil spirits have been latching themselves onto motorcycles for as long as there have been bikes on the road. These evil road spirits are responsible for mechanical problems and bad luck along a journey. Legend goes on to say that by attaching a small bell onto your bike, the evil road spirits will become trapped inside the bell, where the constant ringing drives them insane, makes them lose their grip until they fall into the ground. Ever wonder where potholes come from? I don't think it's from this, but you never know, I guess. Legend also has it that the mystery of the Guardian bell carries twice as much power when it is purchased by a friend or loved one and given as a gift. So that's how I got this one. A friend of mine at work, she gave me this. So it's supposed to be attached apparently to the lowest point you can on the bike. Best place I can see to do it is right here on my pinch bolt. So here we go. Still got to work on my camera angles. Remember to follow the camera along with where I'm going. I will have to remember to check this regularly and make sure it's not coming loose on me, because that would be bad. Tire starts wobbling around or something. I don't want that. I do want to do some more off-road rides. I'm hesitant to do too many until I get the side bag mounts and some crash guards up front. So that side bag mounts actually work as crash guards on the bike. Camera angles, Justin. Camera angles. Alright, that's pretty good there. Take this small one off. Maybe I'm going to take this small one off. There we go. Alright, there it is, attached to the lowest point of my bike. Hopefully when I turn that way it doesn't do that. So I'll kick, actually, me go ahead and do that because that would beat the crap out of that pretty good. There we go. Now we can't touch it. I have to adjust the angle here for a minute. Came back a little bit, but that should still be pretty good, I think. Right back to where it was, actually. There we go. Now I can't touch. Alright. So that one's mounted. Yeah, the crash guards will go. I have small ones that came from the factory right here. But when they're the big ones, will come up to about here. I already have kind of handlebar ones, but I think they'd give in the event of a mild laydown. So, one of the cool things about this, kind of showed on the other video, but I'm doing a review, so let's do it. So you have multiple information displays. Of course, you have your fuel, and your tachometer goes up over the top, digital speedometer. You got two different modes, Tour and Sport. I keep it in Tour. Sport is a very touchy throttle, so it's a little too jerky for me. I've put it in there a couple times. Not the biggest fan of it, but it's definitely faster. Traction control. Well, that's the reset button, sorry. Traction control 1 and 2. I don't play with it enough to know the difference. You can also hold it down and it shuts it off. Light shows up there. The ABS light is on until I start rolling. As soon as I start rolling, it goes off. So, then there's the reset button, which hopefully I didn't reset anything. If you go through the menu options, you have a gear indicator for neutral or... Come on. There we go. Oh, it doesn't work unless it's on. It'll show whatever gear you're in. It doesn't work when the clutch is pulled in, though, which is somewhat annoying, but you just have to count where you're going. So, got outside temp of 60, supposedly. Coolant is low because it hasn't started yet this morning. My current fuel average is 47. That's been climbing still, so I'm guessing that's going to keep going up. That's been a nice improvement, too, over my last bike. I was getting like 34, so that's pretty good. That's the mileage I have on it. You got trip 1, trip 2. I haven't changed them. I haven't had to. And the odometer. So the trip 1 and trip 2 were zeroed when I got the bike. And then the odometer, of course, had the 20 miles on it, so that's why they're slightly different. Should be different by 20 miles. And then, let's see. Got how many miles are left on the bike fuel tank right now, which is the range, 111. Fuel average again. And then the bottom one that's dashes is when I'm riding, it'll tell me a fuel readout as I ride. It should take me back to that. Yeah. And then if I click that, I got a maintenance menu, a time trip, unit, display, brightness, clock. I can reset all of it. If I click it again, oh, that goes into it. Reset all. No. Get out of there. Go in, you can adjust the brightness on it. I think. Yeah, so that's... I haven't changed too many of these. There's a couple things that I want to look into changing, just to kind of personalize it more for me. The display, so that menu display, you can scroll through what you want on each one. So it's not the same set each time. You know, you can have your page 1, you can have the 3 things you want to see most often, and then page 2 be whatever else type thing. Back. I'm trying to remember how to get out of there. There we go. unit so you can change it from kilometers or miles per hour, stuff like that. That's kind of cool if you're, I guess, we're traveling up for us to Canada. You just switch right over and know what you're doing. Time trip. 2 hours and 3. I'm guessing these, I haven't played with them, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think these are attached to the mileage, the tank. But I'm not sure. Somebody was saying that these reset every time I turn on and off the bike. But that's would be 2 hours and 2 minutes to me, and the bike has not been on at all, so that wouldn't make any sense to me. Back out of there. And then if I hold it down, it should go back to that. Alright. So that's those displays. Let me see if I can mount this guy. It's a little taller than I was thinking it was going to be. That shouldn't be too bad. I think I'm going to have to set you guys down to mount him, though. Don't see me necessarily doing this one-handed. We'll try. We'll see what I can do. We'll see how badly I can goof this up. Also, I don't know if that bar is small enough or is big enough to pick this up. No, I could try this. This might actually put you guys looking right where I want you to look. It kind of looks that way, doesn't it? Not really. Let me kick you out some more. Oh, hang on there for a second. There we go. Probably just end up editing that one out. I'm going to pause this while I tighten those down, and then I'll come back in a second. Alright, I'm back. Not quite done yet. I gotta go get a socket. I'm hitting the windscreen, so at least I know what size it is. See how well it goes. There's Max. There's Max. He's always sad. He never gets to go with me on the bike. Isn't that right, boy? Isn't that right? (7/16) deep. That's what I'm going to need. So I can turn some light on here. Make this a little easier. There we go. 7/16. Man, that's not a 7/16. That's an 11. We know the conversion for 7/16 in metric. Or I could just go to my standard drawer. Half inch. 9/16. That's too big. Nope, nope, that's it. 7/16. And then I need this. Here's one right there. Apparently I'm going to do 2 videos. This one's already 20 minutes long. Sheesh. I haven't even started the bike yet. Well, the next video will be me driving the bike. I am slowly trying to get better with these cameras and stuff like that. I want you to go on. Go, let go, let go, let go, let go. It's pretty solid to me. I took the top of the mount off. It comes apart pretty easy. These guys go on like so. And like so. Oh, come on. Doesn't want to go on there. There it goes. Okay. And then that goes on like that. And this goes in like that. Actually, here. Let's put you guys in this. No buttons pushed. Let's see what it looks like, shall we? Get this lined up. That works, I guess. Let's see if we can do that one. Or loosen it up a little bit. Angle it kind of more down. Nah, we'll leave it up like that. Alright, there we go. Voila. Do a test fire, shall we? See what it sounds like. Oh boy. That's not going to work. That's still loose. That's loose up there. Interesting. Well, I don't know yet. Guess I'll have to try again. I'll rethink this. Otherwise, this one's done for now. Figure out what I need to do. I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, we'll give this another try. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. So this will be just a short one of me getting on the boat. Looks like we got a kid field trip. Have a good one. It's a little bit more stable at this point, isn't it? The other. This one not going as fast either. Still does that crazy wobble. I'll put it up. You guys can do this thing. Fortunately, I had to put it on my handlebar because the windscreen was wobbling way too much for that. Well, I'll edit this video out, see how it goes. So, let me know what you guys think. I also have a GoPro mount coming, but I don't have that yet, so that'll be the main one, I think, is the GoPro mount. This one, the camera, the video gets distorted too much from the vibration of the bike. Anyways, have a good one, guys. Talk to you later.